24 years since the first manifestation of the Most Holy Virgin Mary to Luz de Maria, March 19, 2016. This image of the Queen of Peace exudes oil. We give thanks to God on this very special day when I wish to give a brief sketch in broad terms of the story that continues to be eternal present. Looking back with true thankfulness to heaven, I cannot go on without first sharing with my brothers how grateful I am for so many captivating demonstrations of love, mercy, and strength. After our Most Holy Mother stretched out her maternal hand to me, unworthy creature, to lead me to her Son Jesus Christ, I do not forget that very first time, although every time Christ or our Mother visits me it is still like the first time. I remember those almond-shaped, beautiful, penetrating, honey-colored eyes with which her Mother looked at me and captivated me when I felt that my soul in a single act was filled with maternal love. As days and months went by, the motherly closeness became greater and more continuous, as she instructed me in great detail about what her Son wanted of me, and she did so with a serenity that only the mother can have, and using a narrative, if I may, sweet, which does not produce expectation but complete certainty. Our Mother laid out for me the entire path that her Son intended for me to follow in what is now the mission. I was led with so much love that our Mother's heart took me to see, not with the eyes of the body, but with the soul itself, everything she was saying, clearly and in detail, and to which, in my human free will, I answered yes. Beforehand I knew, because the Mother had assured me of it, that I would not be left out of her protection, as long as I remained along the way in divine and not human will. Great eagerness remained in me after that first supreme encounter when I noted the great goodness of heaven as they looked and look at me, and I do not feel worthy. During those early years, the Most Holy Mother had an objective, which is still the same one today: nullify the human will. A notebook and a ballpoint pen were part of the first requirements from the Queen of Heaven, so that I would remember what she was telling me. At that instant I did not know that the notes would be part of the early writings of a long, painstaking, tested, persecuted, but delightfully lived process by the side of the one to whom she, the blessed teacher, would present me later. After several years, Christ, King of heaven and earth, together with his Most Holy Mother, came to offer me water and honey, consolation and, at the same time, advance warning of the thorns along the way, showing me his cross, which is not only pain but also mercy and glory at the same time. Divine strength was reinforced with the caress of his words and the energy of his voice which, relentless, allowed me no rest as he let me know his will for me: impotent, minute, unworthy, and as many epithets as there can be to define how I felt at that instant. And Christ, looking at me, in anticipation, rushes to captivate me with his exalted love and stills me completely. Outside of me, of the surroundings where I was, of the world itself, all was peace, stillness, blessing, and love that ran through me and took me to the depths of his heart where he showed me the sufferings of his passion and the continuous, certain, trusting, and silent surrender of his Most Holy Mother to the Father's will. Mother and teacher, mother and follower, mother and disciple, mother and queen. When I saw the tenderness with which my beloved Jesus Christ looks at his mother and takes her hand, at that instant my heart controlled my will and said yes. I feel unworthy of this blessing. Maybe some people ignore that heaven takes what the world despises in order to show the greatness of heaven by transforming one of their creatures into something the world cannot imagine. On several occasions when I have come to feel discouragement because of the trials, our Mother captivates me anew, giving me the sweet consolation of her celestial fragrances of the oil that exudes from the image of the Queen of Peace, manifestation that continues to date, along with what I call glitter, tiny sparkling bits that descend and become visible, consolation like a sweet or a piece of candy that a mother gives her child so he will cry no more. Then, all suffering is forgotten, and joy and thankfulness overwhelm all moods and give me renewed strength, not because I ask for this but because this is the way heaven acts, gives and encourages and surrenders. On one particular day when I was severely troubled by defamation and could not contain the tears that I offered to Christ, after a long period of suffering, a celestial fragrance filled my room. The excitement made my heart beat rapidly, and it happened. In front of me, Christ extends his hand, and at that instant, which seems eternity because only he and I exist, he offers me his sacred hand and walks towards me. Looking into my eyes, he makes my head lean on his chest, and everything disappears in one sublime act that I live as a taste of what it is like to live in heaven ahead of time, forever leaving engraved in me this sublime expression of divine love, for which I will continue to be thankful until the last instant of my life. The passage of time that is God's will, in a quick move in which there is no rest, has led me to a life filled with shared divine mysteries that I would never change. Among them is my calling to share the cross of surrender in love and obedience to the Celestial Father and for the love of humanity. The joy of living in fraternity is part of that sharing, as well as practicing each divine word I receive in the messages for humanity, making it possible for you to receive in precise detail the explanations that Christ, our Most Holy Mother, and, on occasion, Saint Michael Archangel reveal, so that those who are asleep will awaken, and those who are awake will remain alert and watchful. Fraternity has found no limits in dedication or in the love that transpires from those who diligently, with effort and commitment, manage to make this divine honey reach so many brothers, you, our readers, who are partakers of this family, to whom the love of the Holy Trinity sends each word, because it is not only a message of warning, a call to be prepared, and a word of encouragement. These words have become a pulpit for spiritual growth that does not measure humanity's indifference but, in a constant movement of divine love that comes from God and returns to God, continues to spread his mercy over all humankind so that all of us be saved. Luz de Maria, March 19, 2016.